Well, hello there, motherfuckers. I need to do a little video here about how the YWC is dishonest. So the ratings haven't come out yet for Raw. So I was going to do a little review there, but or a little video about that. But I don't know. The ratings usually come out Tuesday night, late Tuesday. They're not here yet. So, I'm gonna insult you guys instead. How you doing? Anyway, so the YWC, they're a bunch of liars. They're very dishonest. Wow, that's big news, right? Well, we never heard that one before. Well, here you go. So, the YWC has a problem with John Cena and Roman Reigns. I agree. I never disagreed. I make a video, Roman Reigns is haters, or whatever I called it. They're exaggerating. The Roman Reigns haters are exaggerating. They are. I mean, he is not the worst ever. He's simply not. We've had worse talents than Roman Reigns. And the thing is, what's crazy is that Roman Reigns so far has had 2 amazing matches with AJ Styles. Also at the time, people were praising him when he had a great match with The Big Show. A last man standing match. And I know you guys remember that match. And you were saying that it was a great match. And, now we forget about that match. We're watching the AJ Styles Roman Reigns matches. And you people are trying so hard not to like it. Oh, no, I won't look at it. It's got Roman Reigns in it. I mean, like, come on already. I mean, if the match is good, it's good. Just because you don't like the guy in it, come on. I mean, Jesus Christ, guys. I remember that everybody was crazy about MVP back in the day. Everybody liked MVP. I did not like the guy when he was in WWE. I didn't like him when he was in TNA. I didn't like the guy in general. I didn't think that this guy had what it took. And they were making a big deal about MVP. But I'll even admit, the guy had good matches. He did. But I didn't like MVP. But the thing was, I didn't go out of my way to say all of MVP's matches were bad, even though I didn't like the guy. That's just an example off the top of my head. I'm thinking of like a somewhat big star. I didn't like MVP. I didn't. I didn't like the whole way how he was presented, and he didn't seem special to me. But that didn't mean that. So if Roman Reigns doesn't seem special to you, then that's fine. The funny thing is, I like how people are saying that now I'm a fan of Reigns. I never said that. The guy's character is weak. I'm standing by that. The way that they booked this guy from when he first won the title in Survivor Series to WrestleMania was beyond terrible. It was piss poor. It was probably one of the worst series of events that ever occurred in WWE. But was it Roman Reigns' fault? No, it wasn't. Listen, even though the guy doesn't know how to cut promos, I think you guys know this. Even Vince Russo has said, even Jeff Jarrett wasn't good at cutting promos. They said he was really bad at ad-libbing at one time. He said that he had to write Jeff Jarrett's promos word for word. But when Jeff Jarrett would come out during the Attitude Era, his promos were pretty damn good. You see, that's the difference between bad writing and good writing. You see, when you write a promo for Roman Reigns where all he's doing is talking about tater tots, of course he's going to sound bad. But that's, why do you put so much blame on Roman Reigns? Why do you put so much blame on Cena? John Cena already said in the interview, and people call bullshit right away, he said that he didn't want to make poopy jokes. You guys know that that's McMahon. McMahon's the one who finds turds to be funny. I mean, they're a little bit funny, but they ain't that funny. I mean, McMahon is like, I don't know, he could be covered in shit. I don't know, maybe that's a little thing of his. Maybe, maybe he's got some type of fetish. Maybe, he likes, Linda McMahon or pantsuits. Maybe she, unbuckles her belt and takes a big fucking dump right on his chest. Oh, yeah, I love the shit. Yeah. He rubs it on his chest, and then he puts, McMahon's rubbing all the fucking Linda McMahon duty on his chest. Yeah, real sexy, right? And then he puts on a New Day unicorn horn and said, that's McMahon. He's a weirdo. He's a creepy old man. You guys like to call Ric Flair a creepy old man, but Vince McMahon's a creepy old man. I mean, for God's sakes, I mean, he probably still has that fake ass when he was doing, the JR, colonoscopy thing. Remember that? He probably has that. And he probably puts on the New Day unicorn horn. He probably drills the horn into that fake JR ass. I mean, let's be honest. And then probably he takes that hand. Yeah, remember the hand that Mae Young gave birth to? He probably still has that hand. So when he's drilling the horn into that fake ass, he's probably got the Mae Young hand. He probably manipulates the hands so the index fingers like this, and then he shoves that up his ass too. That's McMahon. That's the guy who's probably coming up with all these promos. He's probably had a bowl of tater tots one day, probably eating some steak and tater tots, hey Napoleon, let me get some of your tots. No, fuck you. I mean, I don't know. But I know it's not Reigns. It ain't Cena coming up with this. Guys, you remember when Cena was basically in control of his character? He had the rapping gimmick, and he was good. And everybody loved him. Not a single person was booing him. I mean, that's the reason why they turned him face. Because people were cheering him when he was a heel. So they let him keep the same gimmick. And it was working. But then when they changed his thing and they took more control over him and they made him more generic, that's when they butchered his character. So it's not his fault. But people of this day, they want to ignore the fact that Cena has had these amazing matches. This amazing match with The Rock. He had a great match with Umaga. He's had great matches with just about fucking everybody. I mean, the quality of the match depends on his opponent. He hasn't had a great match with everybody. But then again, it's not our fault that they keep booking Randy Orton versus John Cena to the end of time. Because John Cena's not the one booking the match. Alright? And yeah, Cena ain't fucking clean because he was in control of the finish of the Nexus versus WWE match at SummerSlam 2010, and he wanted to go over. So yeah, so sometimes Cena ain't the best, but that's everybody, huh? There's times when fucking Undertaker wouldn't put certain people over. Okay, so no one talks shit about him. There's, Goldberg, Hulk Hogan. It ain't just Cena, people. Wake the fuck up. You can't just sit there. You sound like an idiot. Oh, this match is bad. Roman Reigns isn't selling, even though he's selling his fucking heart out. What more do you want the guy to do? He ain't gonna bounce around like Dolph Ziggler, that type of selling, where it's like he's got no bones in his body. I mean, seriously, what do you guys expect from him? What do you expect from Cena? Would you be happy if Cena did a fucking somersault plancha like Sami Zayn does every fucking 2 minutes? I mean, why don't you guys just come out and say it, basically? I know that's what you're saying. If someone doesn't do a flippy-dippy fucking suck-my-dick move, then they ain't a good wrestler. Huh? Why don't you just fucking say that already? Yeah, why don't you just come out and say that? Why don't you just admit you don't like your wrestlers to look like anything special. You want them to be average. And I get the appeal. It's like you like the everyday man. So it's like it worked for Daniel Bryan. That guy was special. But I'm sorry, not everybody who doesn't look like your typical wrestler is going to be special. That shit started with CM Punk. But CM Punk had a look. Daniel Bryan had a look. All these other guys, Neville, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, they don't exactly have the look. I'm sorry, but these are not guys that you can see wearing the WWE Championship. No. There is a huge, massive difference there. And, basically you guys just will make a fool out of yourself. You'll make a horse's ass out of yourself because you're just going to sit there and you're going to say everything that they do is terrible. Like, nothing can be overwhelmingly bad. See, look at this skit that they did with Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns wasn't the one running back and forth between the ring. That was Rollins. But is that Rollins' fault? No! That's the writers! See, this is what I'm saying, guys! You like Rollins. I agree. I like Rollins as well. I think the guy could be a huge massive star, but they gotta book him better than that. They gotta write a better story than that, write a better segment than that. But as you can see, it's not Rollins. We shouldn't be blaming Rollins for running up and down the ring and, doing all these fake outs and boring the shit out of us. We shouldn't be blaming Rollins. We should be blaming the fucking writers. Why are we blaming guys for doing stuff that they're not responsible for doing? Remember when Transformers Age of Extinction came out? Mark Wahlberg sucked in that movie. If you watch my review, I didn't blame Mark Wahlberg because what the fuck was he supposed to do with that script? I mean, honestly. So if you notice, I didn't go to Mark Wahlberg. I went right to fucking Michael Bay. I blamed him. It's his movie. It's Mark Wahlberg is acting in the movie, so you could say it's his movie, but it's not really his movie. He's not responsible for all the rights to it and all that. That's fucking Michael Bay. He's in charge of the movie. So, people are just fucking exhausting already. I mean, really. If you see what a guy's trying, he's doing so, just tell the truth about it already. I mean, come on. The whole crowd is going nuts for AJ and Cena. Dueling chant, big magical moment on a shitty-ass episode of Raw where nothing else was really good. And people are just sitting there at the YWC. Cena sucks. He's not over. How stupid does it sound? A whole crowd. That crowd had been silent. The only time that the crowd gets excited is when they start trolling people during a match. But this they were actually doing a legit chant. They were actually into something on the show. They were actually cooperating. They weren't trying to hijack the show for a change. What does that tell you? Even before Cena came out, the people were standing up. Are we going to ignore that? Seriously, I think sometimes people, like I said, want me to be like Bruce Blitz. Oh, guys, Cena sucks. That's all there is to say here in the 3-hour video. I mean, you guys want me to sit there, and complain for 3 hours straight. People already say all I do is bitch about WWE. Can you imagine if half my fucking review was just all about hating on Cena? Just completely unoriginal? I mean, what more is there to say? Cena's character is not being handled right. It hasn't been handled right in over a decade by WWE. But I'm not going to sit there and say, the guy sucks. He's a cancer. He's a nightmare. And all that. I said that, joking in the past, and you guys know that it was obviously a joke. But, when people like Bruce Blitz and the other people in the YWC say it, they actually mean it. I mean, come on. In the past, I called John Cena Hitler. Is anybody, was anybody going to take that seriously? If you did, you're fucking knucklehead. I mean, the thing is, Bruce Blitz wouldn't say things like that. He's not going to joke. He's not going to really try to make you laugh. He just wanted to get the YWC on his side, get the internet wrestling community, to rally behind him. Remember, he had that movement, like, oh, let's all not watch Raw at one time. Get the fuck out of here with your fucking movement. It shouldn't be a movement. We didn't need a movement. People are tuning out in droves. There's no need for that. It's not because of Roman Reigns. It's not because of John Cena. It's because the show is uneventful and it just sucks. Nothing on it. It's a long fucking 3-hour fucking show. It's a fucking clusterfuck with nothing going on. So we don't need petitions, and we don't need to do a WWE fast or some shit like this. We're not gonna. We don't need to do that. There's no need to do a call to arms when people are already tuning out. So, guys, that's all I'm saying. Just remember that I'm not Bruce Blitz. I'm not gonna give you what you want. The constant Cena hate. I mean, if I were Bruce Blitz, I would be so fucking tired doing a 3-hour review where all I am doing is dissing John Cena and just, really seeing who the IWC doesn't like. I mean, this guy was so pathetic, he was actually putting over TNA. And that's what people want me to do. Alright? And for the constant people that keep asking me, I will do a Lucha Underground review, give me time!